everyone, this is Selena Williams, and the first question is, what is the special education teacher role in supporting learning, improving, planning, and practice with advanced professions? So, the main role of the special education teacher is to provide support and instruction. This facilitates, the participation of students with disabilities in their regular education classes. The special education teacher, which is what we're all going for, is to collaborate with other regular education teachers, which is actually something that I do now. I'm an intervention teacher, and I have maybe a few SPED and 504 students within my class, but it's not a full community of them. Like the whole class isn't SPED students, so I may have one out of each class, and I have 15 students in about each class. So that we do have professional developments where we do collaborate with each other, and we go over their IEP plans to see what is it, the accommodations that they need, are their needs being met. Every meeting we have, we call them cluster meetings, and then with just those groups. So like, I'm in a math intervention teacher, so I meet with the regular ed math teachers, and we have our cluster meetings. So we go over the students' progress and things to see how well they're doing in their class versus my class, which, even though, like I said, I don't teach specifically special ed students, most of them have a lot of behavioral issues. So I'm kind of getting just a little taste of what will happen when I do take on that role, which I know it'd be still a totally different world for me. But as far as that, we'll be doing the same thing with an IEP in special education and meeting with their regular ed teacher. So let's see. Special education teachers may also be able to meet deadlines when meeting with other teachers. You want to be able to get everything done, get your planning done, and make sure that we can collaborate on what we need to do as a whole for the students, and make sure we meet deadlines and stuff like that for like state testing and things like that. So in any related service needs to be provided for the student, the special education teacher must ensure that these services are given to the students. So like I said, we have to follow those IEPs basically to the T, and make sure that whatever they need, we are providing it for them. Right. So the next question is, what dispositions do you currently possess, and how will it help you become a successful teacher? And also, what dispositions do you feel like you would need to work on before taking on that role? And basically, there are several dispositions that each special education teacher should possess. SPED teachers must love children. You have to be able to love kids in order to do the job that you do. It's one thing loving kids who don't have any disabilities or anything, but it's another thing to love and care for those kids who do, because they need it. We are the voice for those kids. So and a lot of times, like discussing other things throughout this course, a lot of parents are in denial, and sometimes they may not want to accept every help or service that's available for their child, just for the simple fact that they don't want to admit that their child needs it, or their child has a disability, a learning disability. And I mean, that's nothing to say that that child won't grow up to be as successful as the next student who's in regular education. Most of them are even more advanced in life. So we just need to make sure that we love and care for those kids just like we would do any other student, and maybe I feel like even love on them even more. Some days they may not love themselves or be happy with themselves, so we need to make sure that we do that. And not one teacher should be working with children if you don't. That's how I feel. If you don't love children, you shouldn't be working in this field, whether it's special education or regular education, because times get hard, things get hard. You also have to have patience dealing with students in special education, which I'm pretty sure we all know that. And in addition to having patience, you must also have a calming nature. because they need that. You need to have them in a calm environment, because too much, I mean, too much stimulation or too much agitation can just send some of them over the top. And that's not something you would want. Just because you're having a bad day does not mean you should make their day even worse because you're having it. Sometimes there'll be times where, they have outbursts, and you have to be able to take those precautions and being able to calm them so that everyone's just on a calming level, and you can proceed with, with your lesson for the day and things like that. There's going to be days where you probably will get off track because it's going to be hard. Sorry. All right, last one. What effect could personal bias have on expectations that teachers should have for their students? And students should be treated the same no matter their race, gender, background, or anything like that. We all as teachers and adults should know better, and we should never let that get in the way of our judgment and what's our goal to work towards helping those kids and doing what we have to do. Personal bias treat students unfairly. Technically, when teachers form bias, they are discriminating against them. In addition to that, when bias are formed, teachers tend to set low expectations. And I understand we're taking on the field of special education, but these kids are not stupid. They just learn different from other people. They need a little extra help, but we should never just set the bar too low so that the minute they do something, normal, which, if you're setting the standard low, it's like you're just trying to call them dumb and feel like that's okay. We should never do anything like that. Sometimes students tend to perform at a low level in special education, but it's our job to get them there. But we shouldn't set our expectations so low as if they won't be workable. It's nothing we can do for them. It's a lot to do for them. High expectations should be set for all students, including special education students. All students can learn and perform at high levels, and teachers shouldn't even form their biased opinions based upon their families when they meet families. That's never a good thing. You never know what someone's going through at home, and just because you see you form a judgment off of their families doesn't mean that's what's exactly going on for that child. So we're all adults, we're all grown, we know right from wrong, and as wrong, we should never form opinions on people because we do not know what they're going through. We don't know their struggles or anything. Having a family member who has disabilities or special needs is hard, it's tough, it's a lot of work. You don't know what kind of pressure that puts on them at home. We just know what we need to do, and we need to do it right. Thank you.